Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time for the Premier League. The Premier League is back, baby. One thing is for dang sure. I've missed it. I don't know about you guys, but I've missed football. I've missed real club football because yes, we could get a fix with the World Cup, but international football is different from club football. There is a different aura in the air when competitive club football has begun. And that is the beautiful thing about this. Manchester United are going to be facing Hull tomorrow. They are going to be facing Hull tomorrow, and my goodness, am I excited. My goodness, is this the first opportunity that we are going to be getting for us to say 21 is coming. This is the first bid for Manchester United to go out there and absolutely claim 3 points in their bid for a new Premier League champion for England. That is it. That is what makes sense. That is why this is the big one. That is why Manchester United playing against Hull this weekend is paramount to those big, what do you call it, those big moments in your year, those big I just graduated, those big I just have a new kid, those big I just got a new pet. It is paramount to that. That is the excitement that I'm feeling. I hope you can feel it in the voice, in my voice, or in the way my energy is right now, because I'm excited. Manchester United are playing a competitive game of football in the Premier League, especially with the hope that we have in Michael Carrick. Now, a lot of people will say it's the hope that kills you, but I would go back and say against them that if you cannot hope right now as a fan, when can you? When would be the right time to hope as a fan? Because this is the start of the game. We are facing Hull City. With all due respect, this is the moment to hope. This is the moment to understand and believe in the boys that they can bring 21 to Manchester United. I need you guys to cast your mind to the end of the Premier League and understand Bruno Fernandes lifting that Premier League trophy, putting that crown on his head. I can see it. I can taste it. I can feel it. And that is why there is hope. That is why I am excited for this one. So without further ado, let's begin with the Premier League preview, because this is the first game. It is going to be Hull City versus Manchester United at the MKM Stadium at Hull. Now, with this particular situation, let's look back. Let's zoom out a little bit and get the insight of what we have seen from both sides, starting with Hull City. So make sure you guys are locked in, so you don't miss anything that we do here on Pillar Sports. And without further ado, let's get it started. Hull City returned to the Premier League since 2017. And the crazy part about that situation is that Marcus Rashford is the only Manchester United player on this team currently that played against Hull City the last time they were in the Premier League. I know you did not know that. But if you did not know that, if you knew that, comment down below. If you did not know that, still comment down below. That is how long Marcus Rashford has been at Manchester United. And it's exciting. It is so exciting to see that he's still part of the team. Now, the thing about Hull City is that they got into the Premier League through the Championship playoffs. And of course, every single person is putting it down that they are the number one candidate. They are the favorites to have the worst Premier League return ever. Because when you look at Hull City and how they played in the Championship last season, they conceded 66 goals. I need you guys to understand this. They conceded 66 goals. They had their home form last season was 12 wins, 6 draws, 7 losses. They scored 36 goals at home, and they allowed 34 goals against them at home. And in their away form, 25 away games played, 11 they won 11 of them, they drew 5 of them, they lost 8 of them, and they also they scored 37 and conceded 32 of them. So one thing is for dang sure, what we know is that they have the ability to put the ball in the back of the net, because they, in that season alone, was able to score 73 goals. 73 goals in the championship. That is a very good goal scoring average. You're basically scoring 1.449 average. But this is the problem. They also concede 1.35 in the championship. And you know the funny thing, that is really poor. 66 goals conceded. It's insane. But the thing about this is that the Premier League is totally different from the Championship. It is totally different. And that is where everything comes to play. Because we need to understand, when I say that Hull City might be looking at goals conceded 100 plus this season, that's what we might be seeing from Hull City. It might be a difficult one for them. But this particular game is always going to be difficult, because coming into the Premier League, this is a game where they want to set a standard. They want to come into the game full pelters. They want to get, and this is where it works out for them. If they win, they look at it as, we just defeated Manchester United, and they can ride that wave, just like Sunderland did last season, to a very, very good position. Now, Oli Big Bernie is coming his best season. I think it's 24 goals, if I'm not mistaken, from McBurney. However, if they lose to Manchester United, they could also say, look, we are just coming into the Premier League. It is Manchester United is our first game, and we need to bounce back from that. So this is a win-win situation for Hull City. If they get a point, if they win, perfect. However, if they lose, then you have a little bit of problem. Hull City have also gone and spent 70 million this summer, including a 21.4 million on Noble Mendy from Rayo Vallecano, a really good player, might I add. You understand? A really good player, might I add. Really good in what he does. And looking at this, he is the centre back that I would give credit. He has the ability to do what he needs to do. It's a really, really good signing from Hull City, in my opinion. But the thing about it is that they are going against history, because Manchester United has never lost in a top flight game facing a newly promoted team on opening day. You understand? We have never lost. We have won 11 and drew 3. So they are going against history at this point. But the thing about it is that a lot of things, history is there to be broken. So Michael Carrick would need to make his team understand that they should not take these boys for lightly. They should not take Hull City lightly whatsoever. Oli McBurney, absolutely fire goal scorer. He's coming off a high of his career, scoring in the final. By the way, scoring in the playoff final to take Hull City to the Premier League. You understand? And then you have to look also, under Michael Carrick, Manchester United have won 12 of their last 17 games. And so this game right here would continue. He will be looking to continue that streak. And that's the best part. Last season, especially from when Michael Carrick came, Man United would be on top of this season based on the amount of points that Michael Carrick had gained from that season. And so we have to understand this. We have to look at the whole thing and hope that Man United might be starting this season off the right way. And of course, Bruno Fernandes coming off what is arguably his best season, a PFA Player of the Year, best player in the Premier League last season. He would like to start good, or would like to start better. Now, Bruno Fernandes lately hasn't really started the Premier League in a better position, firing on all cylinders. He has grown into it. The final part of the season is usually where he comes to life most. Hopefully, he can do better this season, where he starts off fire and continues this throughout the season. Now, we have to look at the predicted lineups for Manchester United. Now, I do not really know much about Hull City players, so I'm not going to even think of giving a prediction of who they are going to play. I know Oli McBurney is going to be starting for them up front, and we need to look at that and be careful with Oli McBurney. So my starting 11, my predicted starting 11, this is the key part. It's a predicted starting 11. What I believe Michael Carrick will be doing in this game. I think in goal, it is absolutely clear for us to understand that is going to be Lamens. You get me? The back four will be Luke Shaw, Aiden Heaven, Harry Maguire, and in my opinion, Diego Dalot. I do not think Mazraoui is Michael Carrick's favorite. I believe that the athleticism of Diego Dalot is something that Michael Carrick loves, and because of Luke Shaw doesn't have that ability to go up and down, up and down, up and down like Dalot has, he prefers Dalot in that position because Mazraoui is also a similar player to Luke Shaw without having the athleticism to go up and down, up the field in terms of creating that 6 up front rather than a 4 up front. You get me? When we have the ball or when we are attacking. So I think Diego Dalot will be the person completing the back 4. In the middle, we are going to be going with Andre Santos and Yuri Tillemans. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I am saying that in a competitive game. Someone that I've wanted since Leicester City. Someone that I watched against Man United when he was at Anderlecht. And I was like, who is this young kid captaining Anderlecht against United in a Europa League game? But we are seeing him in Manchester United colours. We are seeing him, and we will see him against Hull City. And then basing our attack in the left and the right wingers will be Dogu, because I believe Michael Carrick just loves that ability to stretch the pitch. He knows that Luke Shaw would need the help, and the athleticism of Patrick Dogu and the engine he has would absolutely be needed in this kind of game. And so Patrick Dogu goes in there. Bruno Fernandes is definitely going to be the number 10. There is no argument about that. There's no better player in that position in the Premier League, arguably in the world of football. And then on the right hand side is going to be Ahmad. And with that said, it is going to be Mbeumo in top front. Now, based on what we are hearing from Michael Carrick, we heard that Carl Darlow might be available for the game tomorrow. We are hearing that Luke Shaw, of course, not Luke Shaw, but Benjamin Šeško will be also in the game. Whether he plays or not, that's a different situation because I haven't seen him play a single minute in preseason. Maybe Manchester United played a preseason game indoors to get him fit or to just get him firing, but we are not going to speculate on that situation. Based on what we're seeing so far for injuries for Manchester United, we have Carl Darlow that is lack of fitness, Tom Heaton that is a knock that he got in the preseason game. I think it was against PSG, if I'm not mistaken. Matthijs de Ligt is still out with his back injury, even though he's on grass training, but he's not ready to play football. Manu Ugarte having that cruciate ligament injury on his knee that would take him out until probably April of 2027. Mason Mount with the knock, of course, against PSG, and then Benjamin Šeško with his leg injury. Of course, we'll hope and see if we can get at least Matthijs de Ligt, Carl Darlow, and Benjamin Šeško back into the fold sooner than later. But the truth about it is we cannot really speculate in that particular one. So we move next to the next thing that we need to talk about. And the beautiful part is what we look at the whole situation, the stakes. We understand, we all know the stakes already. We have looked at every situation, and then we'll look at the head-to-head for Manchester United versus Hull City. The head-to-head is pretty simple. It's pretty simple in my mind. You understand? We have played arguably 8 times, if I'm not mistaken. Man United have won 5 of them, drawn 2 of them, and Hull City have won 1. Now, the last time we played Hull City was in February of 2017. We drew 0-0, if I'm not mistaken. And in that same season, January 2017, Hull City won in the EFL Cup. And that was insane. It was insane. Huddleston, if I'm not mistaken, that penalty. And then Nice, whatever they call it, but Pogba put it back in the 66th minute. That was a pretty good one for me. We still won that game on aggregate. You get me? We won that game on aggregates because before we had played them, this is the key part. Before we had played them, we had faced Hull City. If I'm not mistaken. One Oh my God. We had faced Hull City previously the week before and defeated them 2-0. And then we went to Hull City's home. That was the time we were still doing home and away, right? We're still doing home and away. And we lost 2-1. But the truth about it is that Manchester United have usually dominated Hull City, and that is what we are expecting for them to do in this particular situation. Now, we'll give you guys a little bit of a tactical breakdown on what we see in this particular game, because I think Manchester United we have seen a way that they want to play. We have seen a way we want to play, and that would have to do with the idea of building up the back. Now, this is a key thing that we have seen so far in preseason, and we will not go too depth into the tactical breakdown. We'll tell you the way we think they are going to play based on when we have the ball, when we do not have the ball, and when we are trying to press, or whatever the pressing triggers will be. It will be a quick, brief situation that we do not want to flood you guys with too much information. We are going to be building at the back. We want Sunny Lemons to be able to and comfortable to pass out the back in terms of a build-up play. However, what that would entail would be a push-up of Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot, and then it will be a split of Aiden Heaven and Harry Maguire, with the drop of either Yuri Tillemans or probably going to be Santos in this particular one to get the ball and start building up the play. Without the ball, what we are going to also be seeing is a 4-4 situation where Bruno Fernandes is going to be the person that will be the trigger for the pressing. That trigger usually would be a back pass or a loose ball pass. That would be the trigger for us to either close down or for us to go full pressing on one particular edge of that particular situation. Without the ball, we are going to be playing a 4-4 situation, which is basically Patrick Dogu bending the run on this side, Ahmad bending the run on the other side, Bruno Fernandes, whichever side he's bending the run is where we are attacking the most, and it is going to be Bruno Mbeumo, Ahmad, and then Patrick Dogu. And then the two is going to be Santos and Yuri Tillemans. Now, the key part about this situation is that we are also going to be seeing an inverted role of Diogo Dalot coming into the situation if it is getting overload from that too. However, for the most part, we are going to be keeping that shape without the ball. Now, the key part about this situation, like I've already spoken about in terms of the pressing, is that we are also going to be using a long ball. So if we do not have the ability to pass out the back, the long ball is going to be towards Patrick Dogu. His physicality and ability to hold up the play is one thing that we are going to be utilizing as a target man in the team. So look out for the ball that would go from Sunny Lemons' right foot all the way to Patrick Dogu's side of the pitch, which is on the left-hand side. And so it's going to be crucial that we get the second ball especially, and that would have to do with the likes of Santos or Yuri Tillemans or even Luke Shaw in that situation for the second balls. But that is the basic tactical breakdown that I would be able to give you guys in this particular one. Apart from that, we are also then going to look at the predictions. For me, I think this prediction is going to be, it is a little bit going to be too much for Hull City, for Manchester United, because we are on the roll right now. I believe Manchester United are going to absolutely put belt to behind when it comes to Hull City. And I think my prediction is going to be 3-0 Manchester United. Bruno is going to step up with a goal, 2 from Bryan Mbeumo. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment. Make sure you guys hit that like button, because one thing is for dang sure: the Premier League is back, baby. The Premier League is back, baby. And your weekends are either going to be made or ruined by Manchester United. Hopefully we get majority of it being made, because Manchester United have gotten all 3 points from whoever they face over the weekends, and we get to celebrate 21 is coming. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button, and do not miss out on the watch along that we are going to be doing together on all platforms here at Pillar Sports. Hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and turn on your notifications so you do not miss out on when we go live. I'll see you guys in the next one. Love y'all. Peace.